Before we start today's episode, I need to tell you, listen, so many of you have been here for so many years. You've been rocking with me since 2018 when this podcast first came out. And maybe you are like, yo, everything you say lands with me. It resonates with me. Erica, I'm like so ready to level up my life. I'm so ready to make it happen. I'm so ready to become my confident, magnetic as fuck self. If that is you and you are like, yo, 2025 is my year, I want to invite you to join me inside of my program, Next Level Your Life. This program is a 12-month live coaching experience with me. I'm going to be coaching you, kicking your booty, and supporting you to next level, not only your confidence, but to step into your most magnetic self. We're going to uncover why it is that you get stuck with the things you get stuck with. We're going to start to bring awareness to your past, to your beliefs, to the ways in which you think about yourself, to the things that you allow so that you can stop doing so you can set some powerful boundaries, so that you can show up in your life, in your business, in your career, in your relationships, and be the woman you came here to be. If you are ready to stop playing small and start expanding into who you know yourself to be, my darling, Next Level Your Life is it. And there is an incredible launch offer happening right now at the time of me recording this, and I don't want you to miss out. Join me inside of Next Level Your Life. Head to the link in the show notes, and I will see you in there. Enjoy this episode.
Hola, hola. It's your girl, Erica from America. Welcome to the Confidence Chronicles podcast. This podcast is all about helping you stand in who you are. Stop giving a fuck what people think about you. Start standing as your fully expressed self. As you are, queen, as is, there is no filter needed. You are fucking awesome. And I am here to remind you, I'm a confidence coach, a business mentor, a speaker, an author, and I am obsessed with women standing up, showing up, and creating their confidence. And I cannot wait to dig into today's episode with you.
Welcome back to the podcast, my love. Today, we are talking about authenticity. We are talking about showing up even when it feels hard. We are talking about building a raving fan, viral as hell community of people who love you and want to be a part of everything you have to do. And I want to share this because it's such an important aspect of the work that I do. Many of you who listen to this podcast maybe work in a job and you're trying to get a pay rise, or you are already a leader, or you are a parent and you're trying to lead the little people in your life, or maybe you're the leader of your family. Maybe you have a business and you're trying to grow a massive business and make money and have impact and grow your audience or your following on social media. So if that's you, this episode is for you today. I wanted to share this because it's so important that we discuss, unpack, get real, get honest about showing up. I have had many times in my life where I have not shown up and I have not wanted to show up and nothing happened for me. I didn't get any results. I didn't see the fruits of labor because I didn't have any labor. I didn't make it happen. I didn't show up. I didn't claim my space. For most of my life, I feel like I hid in the corner, in the shadows. I knew inside that I had the potential. I just didn't want to feel discomfort. I didn't want to claim my space. I didn't want to be made fun of. I didn't want to be seen, heard, ridiculed. I didn't want to be rejected. Any of this resonate with you? I didn't want that. And so I kept myself small and I hid myself. And I desired things that these people who showed up were getting. I wanted the results that they got, but I wasn't willing to do the work that they did in order to get that result. I also wasn't willing to deal with the clapback. I wasn't willing to deal with the criticism that people would have of me if I decided to share my opinion, if I decided to wear what I wanted to wear, to say what I wanted to say. I didn't want to deal with that. I didn't want to deal with the rejection of people who were like, I don't like you, you're too much, you're not enough, you're not for me, whatever it is. And so I never got the result of that until I realized that I needed a lot of work. There was a lot of work that I needed to do on my mindset, on my beliefs, on my past, on my trauma, a lot of healing, a lot of shifting my perspective, a lot of radical responsibility taking, some dark nights of the soul, multiples, right? I needed to do some work. And there came a point in time in my journey of work, in my journey of therapy, in my journey of coaching and mentors and therapies and retreats and healings and all the things that I did. There came a point in time where I realized that I was good with me, where I was like, I'm great. I love who I am. I love myself. I'm trying the hardest that I can. I'm being the best that I can be in this moment. I have so much more to go, but I'm not who I used to be. Many of the things that happened to me or for me were not my fault, but they are my responsibility. I had this real awakening moment. And when I learned about that, it set me free. And here's what I mean. For a very long time, I was pretending. And maybe you're pretending. I think many of us pretend. It's our safety mechanism as to what we're supposed to do and how we're supposed to live. So for a really long time, I was pretending to be the good girl. I was pretending to be polite. I was pretending to fit in. I was pretending to be whatever the person outside of me needed me to be. I would be quiet, or I would adjust my volume. I wouldn't dress how I dress now. I would never wear big hoops because I look too Latin. And I was like, I don't want to look too Latin. I don't want to look too ghetto. I don't want to be too loud. And so I would literally disguise myself and blend in. So I was trying to be this quiet, shy, timid person who didn't rock the boat and had no opinion about anything. I was trying to be perfect. I was trying to be polite. I was trying to be a good girl. And what happened for me in that moment when I realized I don't need to wear the mask. I don't need to dress up as that person. I don't need to pretend. I don't need to me, that's being an imposter. Many of us talk about imposter syndrome, feeling like, who am I to speak on stage? Who am I to go for the pay rise? You know what's an imposter? When you're not being who you really are. That's imposter syndrome. Imposter is when you are pretending and holding back who you know yourself to be. When you are being a perfectionist, when you are people pleasing. You want to say no, but you say yes. That's imposter. That's a lie. That's us not being who we truly are. I feel like that is what's hurting us more so than our authenticity and us being who we are in the moment. And why aren't we who we are? Why aren't we saying what we want to say, being who we want to be, going for what we want to go for? For the fear of what other people will think about us. For the conditioning that our family gave us, society, our culture, the religion, whatever it is. And all of these things keep us in this little box, and we're so unhappy in this box. It's like the devil you know. However, we don't want to leave. And I talk about it in my book, Becoming Magnetic. I call it Pain Island. It's like you're stuck on this island, like Castaway with Wilson, and there's no Wilson. You're just by yourself on this terrible island that you hate, you despise it, but you know every rock on that island. You know the outline of the shore. You know that place. You know it so well. What you don't know is the trek in the ocean that is wild and unknown to get to Pleasure Island, to get to the island where you really want to be. Oh, hold on a minute. I don't know how to do that. I got to leave this place. I got to get on a boat, possibly get lost at sea and go through all of that unknown land, all that unknown water, all that unknown journey to get to the place I really want to be. I don't know if I'm willing to do that. And so many of us stay in places, in jobs, in relationships, in bodies, in bank accounts, in businesses, in friendships, in family dynamics that we are not happy with because we don't want to rock the boat, because it's the devil we know. Oh, well, at least I know this. I don't know the other stuff. It's the unknown zone, and it's really scary. And so we pretend that we're happy. We pretend that it's okay. We pretend we don't mind. We pretend that we don't want more from our lives when we really do. We pretend that we're not jealous of other people that are living the lives we want or that we air quotes should be living. And that pretending keeps us from being real. And so what I realized, just me in my journey, when I started healing, when I started facing myself, when I started overcoming the beliefs, the thoughts, the pain, the experiences I had, the stories I made up about who I am and about my life and about the way the world works, that were not true, by the way. Many of the stories you hold are not true. But we don't inquire. We just blindly believe it. And so for years, I believed lies about myself. I believed lies about the world, about the way things worked, about my worthiness, about my abilities. about what I was capable of, about what I deserved. I believed lies my whole life until I started unraveling and crying my tears and looking at the scary, bad stuff that I wanted to bury and not look at ever again. And I opened it up and I faced it with support. I unpacked it. And I realized, whoa, I am wearing a mask, multiple masks. I would say a whole outfit zipped up into it, a couple layers of an outfit that was not mine. It did not fit me, and it was going to give me a life that I did not want. And I was seeing the result of the life I did not want around me. What did I need to do? I needed to come to terms with the reality that the life I was living was not for me. And not only was it not for me, I could choose to create a new reality for myself. I could choose to have a new life, a new relationship with myself, a new joy, a new fulfillment. I could choose to have everything I wanted. It makes me emotional because I have created that now. And I lived for a really long time believing that this was it. This is what life is about. You're going to be in a relationship where you're miserable. You don't love yourself, and that's normal. You hate your body, and that's normal. Your kids hate you, and that's normal. Your family treats you like crap, and that's normal. You'll never make enough money because it's a male-dominated blah, 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 and that's normal. None of that's normal. None of it. And so I decided, thank goodness I had help, that I was ready to face myself and overcome all this stuff. And what I discovered in my journey of healing and working on myself through those 8 years where I invested everything I had and money I didn't have, I went into debt. I talk about it on the podcast a lot. I went into debt, 2 credit cards, maxed out, $150K in debt. I did not have a wedding. I sacrificed a lot and I wasted money on things that I thought at the time were going to help me. And guess what? I didn't even have the money to do it. And guess what? They did help me. And would I do that again? Of course I would. I would make that choice again because the mindset in which I was living, the life that I was living, that I was trapped in this terrible life with a mindset that was very limited, with limited skills and limited resources, and a terrible mindset with thoughts and stories that were negative about me. And I didn't believe in myself. And so me investing that money and healing and working on myself and getting coaches and training and programs and retreats and all the things I did allowed me to come to terms with the truth of who I am. It allowed me to go, hey, you are not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. You're an amazing woman who's lived through a lot of hard stuff. And you have dreams in your heart, and you're allowed to fulfill those dreams. You're allowed to want more from your life. You don't have to do what they're telling you to do. You don't have to do what anyone says to do. You get to live your life. You get to live your dreams. You want to do that? You can do that. And the only person that stops you is you. You can heal that. You can overcome that. You can desire for more. You can find the love of your life. They are out there. You can make all the money you want to make. You're smart, you're brilliant, you're incredible, you're talented. You can do this. You need support. And I got the support that I needed. And I'm so grateful now that I get to support women in my programs in this way, because my goodness, do we need it. And what I realized on that entire experience was that I was pretending, and I didn't need to pretend anymore, and neither do you. When you realize this, when you do this work, you realize there's nothing wrong with you. You are not flawed. You are exactly who you need to be. And you need your respect. You need your power. You need your responsibility taking. You need emotional intelligence. You need your dreams. You need encouragement. You need good people around you. And I decided to get around all that. And when I did that, what I found was that I could be fully who I was. I could be fully expressed. I was not apologizing for who I was anymore. I was not apologizing for my loud tonality. I was not apologizing about my past that, by the way, I had no control over as a child. I had no control over who I was in the world and how I came to be. But now, as an adult, I can take responsibility, not blame, responsibility for how I show up and who I am. I can alchemize all that pain and trauma and difficulty and abuse from my past and use it to make me a powerful, strong, amazing communicator who goes for what she wants and is unstoppable and is authentic and is a go-getter and creates the life that she desires. And if she doesn't like what she has, she shifts it and changes it. That's what I was able to create. As Tony Robbins says, I created this mofo. I did. And I'm continuing to create her. And if there are things I'm not happy with, I change them. I put money, time, energy, support, mentorship, programs, communities, retreats, books, podcasts, whatever, into my mind, into my body, into my soul. I spend my time on that, my money that I work hard for on that, so that I can create a life that I want. So I can get skilled and I can become who I know I'm supposed to be. And that, my friend, is available to you as well. And what it gave me was freedom. That's all. Just freedom. No big deal. The freedom to be who I know myself to be. If I want to wear big hoops, I wear them. If I want to swear, I swear. If I want to wear hot pink sequins on stage in front of corporate Australia or corporate America, I do. I walk into a room without apology because I know I belong there. And I'm welcomed there because I welcome myself. If there's not a room at the table, I build my own. I bring my own seat. I don't need to be invited. I invite myself. I don't need you to love me. I love myself. I don't need you to accept me. I accept myself. Wow, what a great place to get to. So authenticity comes, true authenticity comes from showing up and being amazingly happy with who you are. You being good with you. That freedom is felt. It's not talked about. You don't need to tell me you're authentic. I need to feel it. I will feel it from you. There will be no apology. There will be no apologetic energy when I walk into the room. There will be freedom. There will be magnetism. I will magnetically attract the right people my way. I will repel those who do not belong to me and don't need to be in my vicinity. Fantastic. It's happening for me, by the way. I don't need to do anything for that. It's happening for you as well. Are you consciously aware of it or not? Question. And so it's not about trying harder. It's not about the strategy is I'm going to keep it real. No, the strategy is I'm free. I don't care what you think about me. I don't care if you love me or don't love me. That has nothing to do with me. Other people's opinions of me have nothing to do with me. It's about them. So I, like Byron Katie says, I'm generous. Think whatever you want about me. I'm going to sleep fine on my silk pillowcase tonight, baby. Loving myself, knowing who I am, knowing that I'm ever changing. Every moment of the day, I'm shifting, evolving, growing, and changing. And I hope you are as well. So how could anybody ever know who I am? I don't know who I am. I'm constantly changing. I know who I'm not. I know that I'm not the same I was 6 months ago. And I know I'm not going to be the same me that I'm going to be in 6 years. So I let myself be fluid and free with that. And I address who I want to be in this moment. In this moment, this is who I want to be. And I am that person in every of those moments. And when you're that person in those moments, that freedom that comes off you, that authenticity that people feel, that vulnerability, that beautiful depth and connection, it's contagious. It's amazing. And people will go, "What's your strategy?" And you will go, "Me being me in the moment." There's no strategy to that. This is how I really am in this moment. This is how I feel. And another moment I'll be crying and sad. That's how I really am in that moment. And I try my hardest, if you're here, to show my moments on the internet, to show my moments live and in person, to show my moments to my clients. I will say some stuff on stage that people are like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you said that." Why? Because it's real. I say it because it's true and it's real. And people are like, "Whoa, oh my gosh, I've never heard that before." Yeah, because people are walking around in boxes trying to be perfect, which means you're scared, which means you're not authentic. When you tell people you're authentic, that's the opposite. I don't need to tell you that. I can show you by who I'm being. And so when you show up, even when you're not who you want to be yet, when you show up, even when it's not perfect circumstances, when you show up, you give yourself permission to be who you are in that moment, to allow your full self to be here right now. And that's all you can ask of yourself. What happens when you're raw and real and who you are in this moment? What if you make a mistake? Fantastic, you learn. What a beautiful moment, you got to learn something. What if you get it right? Fantastic, you got it right. There'll be many times where I will not get it right. There's many times. I love the lack of knowing what's going to happen in a live event. I don't know what's going to happen. Sometimes I don't know what's going to happen on the podcast. I didn't know we were going to go here, and here we are. But I allow it because I trust myself and I have a pure heart to serve. So I trust that whatever comes out of my mouth and whatever downloads coming as I'm talking, I trust it because it's coming from my pure, truest heart and self of service. As I want to be of service, it comes out. When I try to fabricate it and I try to make it perfect and I try to sound like her or him or that person, that's not it. And people can feel that. And so I want to give you the invitation to show up. Not when you're ready, not when it's perfect, not when it's convenient, not when you have all your makeup on, not when you have all your lighting correct. Show up because you can. Show up and do the work on yourself. All the areas that you know you have been pushing to the side and you haven't addressed, commit to those areas. Because what if that painful situation you experienced had the key to unlock who you're going to become in the world? Your freedom, your authenticity, your power, your confidence, your magnetism, your influence, your authority. All the stuff you want is locked in with all that stuff you don't want. We can't just push it to the side and pretend it didn't happen. It happened for a reason. Let's claim the gifts in our crappy moments. Let's claim the gifts in the hard times we've all had. That's how we become who we need to be. That's how you become you fully expressed to the extreme. That's how you become you versus you trying to be like somebody else. That's how you eradicate this imposter mindset. That's how you eradicate comparison. I'm so good with who I am. And if I'm not happy, I work on it myself. I don't need to look to the sides and compare myself to someone else. I don't need to call myself an imposter. I don't need to belittle myself. I don't need to make myself smaller. I need to look at where I'm being and what's happening for me and commit to doing the work on that. And once you do, you will know what I'm talking about. You have all the tools that you need when you decide to work on your areas. And now I don't know where we are in the podcast, but we're at the end. And I've talked about multiple things because I went on a rant, but I hope that it resonates with you. I really have to tell you, there's no strategy for you to be authentic. There's no strategy for you to care about people and build a raving fan audience. I have an audience and a community because I show up and I love them. I show up when I don't want to. I show up when I feel like crap. I show up when I'm amazing. I show up through all the ways and I let them see me in all my phases. And by them seeing me in all my phases and me getting metaphorically naked, as I say on the internet, they feel safe, seen, heard, validated, understood. They feel like, oh my gosh, you get me, you're real, you're like me, because I am like them. We are the same. I'm letting you see all phases, not just Erica when everything is perfect and amazing. And that's the invitation. Let people see you. Do your work on yourself. Get to these places. Don't try to be anything. Be it. There's such a difference from trying to just stepping into it and being it. And the more consistently you show up in this way, the more authentic you become, the more embodied you become, the more grounded you become, the more inspiring, the more influential you become. Wow. People will be like, how do you do it? And you'll be like, I'm not doing it. I'm just being. You're not doing, you're being. That's the invitation. If you want to go deeper and do more of this work and understand more of this, I would love to invite you to join me in Next Level Your Life. It's my year-long coaching program. It is live. I am in there coaching. I would love to see you in there. If you want more details, head to the link in the show notes or just head to Instagram. Everything's always there. I love you so damn much. I'll see you next week.
Thank you so much for listening. I freaking love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for your ears and your energy and your attention. Thank you for letting me into your world. And thank you so much for listening and tuning in to this podcast. There are so many podcasts you could listen to, and I deeply, deeply, for real, appreciate you listening to mine. Do me one big favor, one big thing. Please share this episode or this podcast with a woman who you know needs to hear this. This is my mission on planet Earth, to serve as many women as possible so that we could show up, stand up, speak up, and create the confidence and the life that we desire. I appreciate you, my love. I will see you on the next episode.